And I just want to say thanks to the New York Surf Film Festival. I gotta say, this has been such an event for us, and we're so thrilled to be here. We have maybe 1/100th the budget of most of the other films in this festival, but the people here that put this festival on made us feel very welcome here, made us feel great, like we belong here, and we are just. This is a thrill for all of us guys. It's a real.
And I think one of the things that I really enjoyed about this film, it's just, I grew up surfing in New York, like, as a little kid in the late 80s, and surfing in New York when it was small, and it was a real small community, and I always loved that, and in the last few years it's become huge, and really popular, and I love it, and I love meeting all these new people, and I love new communities growing out of it, but it reminded me of like my childhood growing up and just how everyone knew each other and everyone was just this close-knit clique, and you guys called each other to go surfing. It wasn't like, oh well, this is my secret spot, or oh well, this is mine. It's just it's a wonderful community feel, and I think a lot of surfers identify with that, and I think it goes back to the surfers of the 50s, it was like a very similar thing, and I think, when I see what you guys have, I love it so much, and it makes us feel really good, and it's, the root of what surfing was and is still. How did this project come about? Like who said, I'm gonna do this, and then what happened? How did it go?
It was Tom and Darren's idea. They knew that I had these kind of whacked out friends in the surfing culture, and it was their idea for a documentary.
Scott, when they said, I'd like to do a film, and then we were like, yeah, let's do a film, why not?
It came about. The subject seemed obvious.
And is there a bit of rivalry between different sides of the Great Lakes with you guys, or is there like a real good community, or is you guys communicate with each other?
If it's a rivalry, they win. Okay? They get much better ways than we do. But if there is this friendliness amongst lake surfers, whereas you could go surfing, drive 100 miles, right? Run into someone at the same spot who drove 100 miles from the other direction. You know that person, right?
Wow.
From the internet or telephone or whatever, and it's just, that's the way it is, and it's changing. More and more people are doing it, less and less people, but I think the spirit of the camaraderie, I think it's strong. And
do you do like a lot of road trips to the other side and to some of the other lakes as well? Like you guys?
You want to explain this?
I'm like, it's so fascinating.
The best Great Lake is New Jersey. Yeah, I say that because, really, this is not an insult to people from Lake Michigan. Why drive 6 hours to Lake Michigan when you can go to Jersey or New York?
It's shorter, it's like 2 hours further to come to Jersey than to go all the way to Michigan, or way longer to get to Superior. So why not?
Get better ways.
Now, have a lot of you traveled outside to surf, like to other countries and stuff, or and when you tell people where you're from and where you surf, what's their reaction initially?
They're a bit startled. They don't quite understand that the lakes are so big you can't see the other side of it. And then you tell them it's all wind-driven waves, and it's usually knee-high chop, and they're like, why bother? But if you put a surfer out of his element for long enough, he'll surf anything.
And now with like board design, you guys, you have your local shapers, and you guys, how different are the boards that are being ridden over there compared to maybe in saltwater? Is there a big difference, or is it?
We're using the same boards. It's just you'd go with a little more volume, a little more length.
Epoxy boards have helped a little bit too.
Epoxy's definitely a little lighter. I'm not going to say that one's better than the other, but it's just personal preference. I've always got a long board, and fun board, and a short board with me. It's usually the long board.
So, you know, do you guys within like your culture, you know, your community, you know, when you go outside, do you feel like you know, you can identify sometimes, or do you feel like, oh, well, we say this here, and then you guys go somewhere else, and someone's like, well, what's that term, or something? But I don't know. There's sometimes when I grew up here in New York, and we'd say something, and you know, like for a surf term or something, and we'd go somewhere else and be completely different. Sometimes they look at me strange. Like everyone's looking at me.
Technology, everything. We watch the movies. We read the magazines and stuff, and you know, we emulate, you know, a lot of the same things. So I would say that, I mean, like I said in the film, if you put us in another culture with surfing, I mean, within a day or so, we're just gonna match right in.
I don't know, you stuck out there, you guys. I don't know if you saw you on the dance floor. John and Stephen don't have anything on you. Can I go surfing with you guys? So you're gonna call me next time there's a big swell? No, really, I'll drive 6 hours. It's no big deal.
The problem, we can't really forecast. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, the wind's kicked up and we gotta leave work. You gotta go. And sometimes you only have like that half-hour window.
Yeah.
And you'll show up at 2 o'clock and you'll be like, oh, it's flat. And then you leave and you talk to somebody later and they're like, man, it was like knee-high and clean at 2:30. And you're all just, oh.
Should have been here 5 minutes ago.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Same here, really. Well, yeah, well, I really would love to come out and surf with you guys.
Open
It would be an
invitation
honor.
to everybody.
Everyone, we're going! South Carolina! We're now getting to the point of inside the surfer studio, where Tyler Lipton comes in. What is your favorite surf term? Least favorite surf term?
Locally.
Nice. We're all in agreement on that? Yeah. All right. Right. And if there's a heaven, what sort of wave would you like to surf for eternity?
I surf the one with all my friends.
I like that. Let's give a round of applause, everyone. We're going to have the award ceremony at Red Hook Space. The instructions are in your booklet. If you bought a ticket to be here, you are more than welcome. It's free Colt 45 and some alcohol, and it's going to be a lot of fun, so we'd love to see you guys there. All right?
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Will my wife please stand up, Jen? She's been very supportive of all of us. I just want to say thank you so much for your support.
I'd like to thank you, Jen. All right, thank you guys.